Thursday? The thing that stinks about having Santa's scout watching my every move at home is that I can't get away with the things I used to do during the holidays. A few years ago, Mom and Dad put some gifts under the tree a week before Christmas, and it was driving me crazy not knowing what they were. Shake, shake. One of the gifts had my name on it, and I was pretty sure it was a video game. I made a tiny little tear in the wrapping paper to see, and sure enough, it was a game I'd asked for. But then it was bugging me that a game I wanted was sitting right there under the tree, and I couldn't play it. So I went one step further and made a slit along the top of the packaging and slid the disc out. I opened the plastic case and removed the game, then put the box back in the wrapping paper and taped it closed. But I started to get paranoid that Mom was going to pick up the present and notice it felt lighter. So I opened it back up and put one of Roderick's heavy metal CDs inside the box to make it the same weight it was before. Headless Asylum. Parental warning. I played the video game every night after Mom and Dad went to bed, and I actually beat it. But I forgot to put it back in the box, and on Christmas, when I opened my present in front of Mom and Dad, Roderick's CD slipped out and rolled onto the floor. The day after Christmas, Mom took the CD to the game hut and chewed the clerk out for selling her material that was inappropriato for kids. I just don't like not knowing what I'm getting for Christmas. And sometimes I can't help myself. Last year I went on Mom's email account and wrote to all our relatives to see if I could find out what they were getting me. To Gammy, Uncle Joe, Uncle Charlie, Grandma, Grandpa, Kurugeri Hoanne, Leslie, Byron, 23 more. Subject, gifts. Hey, everyone! Let me know what you're buying for Greg this year so we can coordinate. Thanks, Susan. But Mom keeps her email on the computer in the kitchen, and it's hard to get onto her account when Santa's scout is watching me like a hawk. Tonight, I spent some time trying to decide what to put on my Christmas wish list this year. I try to be as specific as possible when I make my list, because whenever I leave my gifts up to Mom and Dad, I get some crazy stuff. A few years ago, I forgot to write out a wish list, and I paid the price for it. Mom was pregnant with Manny, and she wanted me to get ready for having a baby brother. So for Christmas, Mom got me a doll. Baby Alfredo, realistic doll for boys. He cries. He eats. He waits. Encourages responsibility. Now grows hair. Toy of the year. At first, I didn't want anything to do with it. Then I realized having a doll you could feed came in handy. In fact, I don't think a vegetable touched my lips for a month after I got Alfredo. Here comes the airplane, Alfredo. Open wide. But that wasn't the only thing I used that doll for. I found out that he made a really excellent comic book stand, too. I have to admit, after a few months, I got really attached to that doll. Since I didn't have a pet, it was kinda nice to have something to take care of for once. Does Alfredo look handsome in his big boy shoes? Oh, yes, he does. But one day I came home from school and I couldn't find Alfredo anywhere. I searched the house from top to bottom, but there was no trace of him. The only thing I could think of was that I dropped Alfredo at some point and somehow didn't notice. I was pretty torn up about losing my doll. But what I was really worried about was Mom thinking I couldn't be trusted around my new baby brother. So I got a grapefruit out of the fridge and drew a face on it with a marker. Then I wrapped the grapefruit in a dish towel, and for the next 3 months I pretended it was my doll. Rockabye baby on the treetop. Mom and Dad didn't seem to notice, but I was terrified by the idea that the real Alfredo was gonna find his way back home and get his revenge on me for abandoning him and replacing him with a fruit. Scratch, scratch. In fact, I still worry about that to this day. It's the reason I always check to make sure my window is locked before I go to bed at night. I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I actually got attached to that grapefruit. But after a while it started to rot, and Dad traced the weird smell back to my Alfredo decoy. Mom didn't seem to upset that I had lost my doll, but I will say, she's never left me alone in the house with Manny for more than 15 minutes. Like I said, though, it was nice to have something to take care of, and I miss that feeling. So these days, I've been spending a lot of time playing this game called Net, KRITTERZ.net Critters. In fact, I've been playing Net Critters every free second I get. The basic idea is that you have to feed your pet and keep it happy. And if your pet is happy, you get tokens so you can buy it clothes and furniture and stuff like that. I've played so much that my pet, Chihuahua, has a mansion with an indoor swimming pool, a bowling alley, and about 150 different outfits. The only thing I'm not happy about is his name. Mom's the one who set up my account, and I can't figure out how to change the name she registered with. Gregory's little friend. Mom says I take better care of my virtual pet than I do myself, and I guess I can't argue with her there. Over the weekend, I played for 16 hours without even taking a break to go to the bathroom.